We are the heartbeat of America.
Hi, and thank you for stopping by. Tonight, I want to talk to you about the 5 things the senators want to attach to the Corona stimulus package. Now, before I get into this, I want to say this. Democrats are upset with the Republicans over this stimulus package, coronavirus stimulus package bill, because they think that it pads the pockets of the corporate entities and that they will get big fat paychecks over this. But I have a way to fix that. If I was the Democrats, I would ask the Republicans to allow this to be put into the bill. That if any corporation or any large company uses any of this money to give themselves a big fat raise, to pad their pockets, or for it to go anywhere but where it's supposed to go, they would be fined and they would have to pay back all of that money. Plus, the ones who got their pockets padded would have to end up doing between 10 and 20 years in prison for fraud. That would fix that problem. Now, senators were filing amendments over the weekend with their own ideas as leadership negotiation continues. Now, it is still Monday, my time. It's 11:52 my time, so it is technically Monday, which means that they just did this over this weekend. Senator James Lankford, a Republican of Oklahoma, wants to make it easier to claim a tax deduction for charity or charitable contributions. That, in a way, could be a problem because large corporations could donate loads and loads of cash and get tons and tons of money back from their donations. Leadership level negotiations are still going and ongoing about a coronavirus stimulus package totaling 1.8 trillion or more, but senators have plenty of ideas on their own. Over the weekend, senators filed a number of health care and tax policy amendments to the initial base text of the Phase 3 stimulus bill introduced by Senator Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, as well as to an unrelated House passed bill that the Kentucky Republican intends to use as the legislative vehicle to carry any eventual deals. Here are a handful of some of the most significant proposals, some of which may ultimately be incorporated in the final language. 1. Promoting charitable deductions. A bipartisan group of senators, led by Republican James Lankford of Oklahoma, is reviving a proposal to create above-the-line deduction for contributions to charity. The expanded standard deductions in the most recent tax code overhaul law has led to fewer taxpayers needing to itemize deductions. Allergy testing. Kansas Republican Jerry Moran has filed an amendment seeking to provide specific coverage for allergy diagnostic testing services under the Medicare and Medicaid law. Some of the symptoms associated with COVID-19 overlap with allergies. That's number 2, allergy testing. 3, bond buying by the Federal Reserve. A bipartisan amendment led by New Jersey Democrat Robert Menendez would grant the Federal Reserve authority, in an unusual and exigent circumstances, to buy and sell investment-grade corporate bonds and those issued by entities like the state, county, and municipal governments. Under the amendment, none of those bonds would have a maturity of shorter than 6 months. I can see that as a problem. We're giving the Federal Reserve way too much power as it is. Number 4, payroll tax suspensions. A Republican, David Perdue of Georgia, and Tom Tillis of North Carolina are seeking a broad payroll tax holiday. Now, Trump mentioned a tax holiday, and it was kind of shot down while it was afloat in the air. Having filed an amendment setting the tax rate to 0% for the year, the senators would, both of whom are up for re-election this year, very smart. You probably have a lot of people that are Joe collar and blue collar workers that are looking for tax pay cuts. They provide language that would transfer from the federal fund to Social Security the money needed to make up for the loss of payroll tax revenue. Saving bonds. Number 5. Louisiana Republican John Kennedy is seeking to use the legislation to continue his efforts to distribute unclaimed U.S. savings bonds, which means that there's bonds out there that have been put in people's names that are unclaimed. His amendment would direct the Treasury Department to provide information to states to assist in locating the owners of unclaimed mature bonds for redemption, which means that they would be redeemed. Therefore, the state would probably end up getting a tax out of it. Well, those are the 5 things that could possibly come into the Corona stimulus bill. Now, they keep dragging their feet. The Republicans have something that's decent, and they want to put it into play, and the Republicans are saying no. They're blaming it on the Republican language of the bill, but I say what they're doing is stalling because they don't want the Republicans to look good going into an election year because they know that Trump will get reelected. I'm telling you, Democrats, this will blow up in your face. And you heard it from me first. When it happens, don't say I didn't tell you. If you like my videos, please give it a big old thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, please hit that subscribe button. If you have an idea for a video, put it in the comments below. Also, if you know anything about this that I don't, put it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. America, we will make through. We will. We will come through this. Back during the Depression in the early 1900s, if we would not have lost our head and we would have stayed cool, we would have made it through the Depression and nobody would have gotten hurt. The only people that really got hurt were the ones that didn't have enough money to wait the distance. They could have gotten through this in a matter of a couple of weeks, but we ran around like a chicken with our heads cut off, and it lasted for the next several years. Having said that, I'm going to let you go on that note. Have a good night, America, and all points beyond.